Hi everybody, 11 Institute welcomes all the students of Standard 9th again, and today we will begin with a new subject, Science and Technology. Specifically talking about science, we are beginning with the section of Biology with a very simple chapter that is in the syllabus of first term, the fundamental unit of life. Right, so we will begin with chapter number 5, the fundamental unit of life. And the fundamental unit of life, we very well know that it is cell. This chapter is quite common. You have much information about the cell, but we will move in bit of detail, as we discussed in the previous video lectures of mathematics. Everything will get repeated. Whatever you have studied in your lower standards will get repeated again in the higher secondary, but with bit of details at an advanced level. Right, so fundamental unit of life is cell. You can see an image of cell is being displayed. This is a 3D image. You can see this is mitochondria, nucleus, Golgi apparatus, ribosomes. These are the organelles of the cells. Right, so this entire cell forms the basic fundamental part of life. You have studied that cell is the structural and functional unit of our body. Right, it is the building block of our body. So let us discuss. There will be few repetitions and few advancements also. Right, before moving ahead, I would like to clarify that you have to make a separate book for science. You should make a CW, and whenever I tell you to pause the video and write anything, you have to sincerely write that in our book. Right, you have to make a separate book for our tuition, and you have to take notes in it. There will be question answers of text also, and some extra question answers and information also, which you have to note it down whenever I tell you. So let us begin the chapter. Yes, so today we will just have an introduction to the chapter, the introductory part, first 2 or 3 pages of the text. We will have some basic discussions, and then we shall move through the chapter. So let us read it. When it started, right? We are having some information about discovery of the cell while examining a thin slice of cork. Now, what is a thin slice of cork? You can see over here. This is a thin slice of cork, the outer part of the trunk of a tree. You can say, right? This you have seen many times, right? The outer part of the trunk of the tree, right? It seems like that. Right? This is a thin slice of cork. You can see they are made up of many small fissures. Robert Hooke was the name of a scientist. So that cork resembled the structure of honeycomb. Cork means this resembled the structure of honeycomb, like this. See, this is honeycomb, right? What this Robert Hooke observed was that this cork, when observed under microscope, right, when observed under microscope, they look like this. No, this small structures like of honeycomb, consisting of many little compartments. You can see there are many little compartments in honeycomb, and what Robert Hooke said that there are many little compartments in this slice of cork also. Cork is a substance which comes from the bark of tree. We have already discussed. This was in the year 1665. Yes, 1665, when Hooke made this chance observation through a self-designed microscope. So Robert Hooke was very clever. He had designed his own simple microscope, and with the help of that simple microscope, in the year 1665, he had observed these cork cells. Right? And what he found out was these cork cells consist of many little compartments which just look like this structure of honeycomb. Right? So Robert Hooke, he observed everything with the help of this simple microscope. Yeah, needless to mention, he is not Robert Hooke, which you are seeing over here. બરાબર ના તો ઇન્ડિયન રોબર્ટ હુક જેવા લાગે છે ભાઈ. બરાબર ને એવું કઈ નથી, just an image to make this clear, right? That when he observed under the microscope this, he resembled, he studied that, or he felt that this cork are made up of many small compartments, and those small compartments or those small boxes are known as cells. Cell is a Latin word for a little room. Fine, so this is the information given in text in the introductory part. So who was the first person to discover or to observe a cell? The answer is Robert Hooke. And with what did he observe? He observed it with his self-designed microscope, the microscope which he made himself. He observed the cells with the help of that self-designed microscope in the year 1665. So it's okay if you don't write anything else, but this last portion, cell, is a Latin word for a little room. Please write this one point in your CW. Cell is a Latin word for a little room, and whenever you write, just pause the video and then again continue. Right, so please write this. Cell is a Latin word for a little room. So this is how the discovery of cell began from the Cork cells. They were the first one to be observed under the microscope. Right. Now there is an activity in the textbook to check what are the living organisms made up of. We very well know that living organisms are made up of cell, but since all the living organisms are different from each other, right? For example, we are also living organisms, human beings, plants are also living organisms, right? Both of them are living, but human beings are made up of different types of cells. Plants are made up of different types of cells. We know animals are made up of animal cells and plants are made up of plant cells, but ultimately they are made up of cells. The type of the cells might be different. So in order to clarify this, we are going through an activity, and we according to the textbook have to observe a peel of onion. Onion ની જે છાલ હોય ને ઉપરની જે બલ્બ હોય ને એને આપણે માઇક્રોસ્કોપ ની અંદર રાખીને જોઈએ, રાઈટ? સો આવું કંઈક દેખાય છે આપણને. All organisms that we observe around are made up of cells. We have discussed this. The cells of the onion peel will look all the same. See, this is what onion peel looks like when it is kept under the microscope. When we use a microscope and when we see onion peel in it, right, we see that this type of structure is obtained. There are many small room like structures which we call cells, and the small dot like structures are a nucleus, which we will discuss further, right? But there are many cells over here. Now these are cells of an onion peel. Now onions are also of many types: small onion, larger onion, golden onion, red onion. There are different colors of onion also, different varieties are available. You can see white onions are also there, and they may be different in size, but you can take any onion, right? Even if you take a smaller onion or you take a bigger onion, you take a peel from this and you take a peel from this also, you will observe the same thing under the microscope. That is quite simple. That is quite simple. See, in case of human beings also, we all have the cells of our skin. So if you observe the skin cells of a particular human being and another human being, they will be almost structurally be same. Their structure will be same, right? So nonetheless, to mention, regardless of the size of the onion, all the onion peel cells will look the same. This is given in the textbook. This is not important, just it was given there, so I have copied it down over here. So let us move ahead. This we need to study very well. What are living organisms made up of? This is the story of our life, right? See, all the organisms, then they might be simple organisms, complex organisms, unicellular, multicellular, whatsoever. But all the organisms ultimately once upon a time were single cells. See, this is a single cell. Now many such cells are formed after a process known as cell division. A process known as cell division, right? Let me write it over here. Yes, sorry for the bad handwriting, but writing with a computer mouse is not so easy. Cell division, yes. You might have heard about it, cell division. From one cell there are two new daughter cells produced. From two new daughter cells again next four daughter cells are produced, and many such cells are produced, right? So from a single cell, after the process of cell division, right, after the process of cell division, many cells are produced, and those many cells come together and form tissue. What they form? Tissue. Such many tissues combine together and they form organ. Such many organs combine together and they form organ system, and many such organ system then made an entire organism. So we all are ultimately coming from a single cell. These cells divide and we get many cells, and this collection of many cells is known as tissue. Different tissues come together and make organ. Different organs come together and make an organ system, and ultimately we have an organism. I hope this is clear to you. In order to be more clear, we will take an example of human being also. You can see over here. right? And this is a detailed example. There are atoms will make DNA will compose then cell, right? Now many cells are arranged over here, you can see this is one cell, but these are many cells make a tissue, then these tissues combine and they form an organ. You can see this is our stomach, right? Many tissues combine and form an organ. These organs, many organs form an organ system. For example, this is stomach, liver, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine. They all form our digestive system, of which stomach is a small part. So many organs come together and form organ system. And many such organ systems, for example, here it is the example of digestive system. Then we have circulatory system, nervous system, right? There are different types of system with us. These different systems make up the entire organism. I hope this is clear to you. One more image we will see, right? Atoms, they make molecules, macromolecules, organelle, cell. We start from here. This is not important for us for now. We need not to go in this much of detail, right? But let us see this. We have cell. This is the basic unit of life. Many cells combine together and form tissue. Many tissues combine together and form organ. Many organs combine together and form organ system. And many organ systems combine together and form organisms. So this is half our cellular organization. As you can see, ultimately each and every organism, when you move back, we are made up of cells. We can consider houses in your society or in your state. You can see any house. Some of the houses will be quite beautiful, some of the houses will be semi furnished, some of the houses will be colored so bright, and some of the houses might be dull. Some of the houses might have 3 rooms, some might have 1 room, some might have a large kitchen, some might have a small kitchen. But irrespective of all of this, no matter what kind of facilities are available in the house, all the houses are ultimately made up of bricks. There is some basic building block. In the same way, there are different types of organisms. See, there are human beings, there are plants, there are animals, there are fungi, there are bacteria, there are birds, insects, many things, right? But ultimately, all of them, they might have different organs, organ systems, they might have different tissues, but ultimately they are made up of cells. These cells may be also of different type, but there may be something in common between them. Hence, they are living organisms. So ultimately, we all are made up of cell, and hence we tell that cell is the fundamental unit of our life, or cell is the structural and functional unit of our body. I hope this is quite clear to you. Let us now move ahead. Types of organism. Let us see. Alright, so you can classify the organisms on different bases, right? On the basis of different criteria. For now, we are classifying the organisms based upon number of cells. Based upon number of cells, we can classify organisms on different criteria also, like based upon whether they are mature or immature, whether they are primitive or new. But for now, we are classifying the organisms based upon number of cells. So based upon number of cells, there are two types of organisms: unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms, right? Based upon number of cells in a particular organism, we are having two types of organisms: unicellular and multicellular. Now let us study both of them at the same time. We will see the difference in between them also. Uni, the word uni, right, means one. Word uni means one. So those organisms which are made up of only one cell is forming an entire organism, such organisms are called unicellular organisms. I will read it again. The organisms which are made up of single cell only a single cell, are called unicellular organisms. Means they do not have any more cells. For example, if you compare them with us, when we sit over here, we have eyes to see, we have stomach for digestion, we have heart for pumping blood, we have brain for thinking. There are different varieties of cells present in our body. But in unicellular organism, there is only a single cell, only one cell, and this one cell will perform every function. That one cell will perform respiration also, it will eat also, it will digest also, it will eject also, it will think also. Each and every function will be performed by a single cell. Such organisms which are made up of a single cell are called unicellular organisms. I hope that is fine. So definitely opposite of that is multi. Multi means more than one or many. So the organisms which are made up of many cells are called multicellular organisms. Or let me read: the organisms which are made up of group of cells. You can use other words over here also. Group of cells or many cells or more than one cells are called multicellular. Multicellular, right? Many cells. For example, a typical example of multicellular organisms is ourselves. Human beings are multicellular organisms. We have many cells, right? Plants are multicellular organisms, right? We have many cells. So, two types of cells, two types of organisms, sorry, on the basis of cells. If there is only a single cell, then they are unicellular. If there are more than one cells, then they are multicellular organisms. I hope that is fine. Let us now see some examples. For example, organisms like amoeba, Chlamydomonas, Paramecium, and bacteria consist of a single cell only. You have heard amoeba many times, right? You have heard amoeba many times. Amoeba is shapeless or it can change its shape. You have heard it many times. Apart from that, there are Chlamydomonas, Paramecium, and some other bacteria. Not all the bacteria, right? Not all the bacteria, but many bacteria. They are having a single cell only. Just a single cell, like this. Just a single cell. It may be of any shape. It may be like this. It may be like this. Any shape, right? But there will be only a single cell. So these examples are important to remember. Amoeba is unicellular, Chlamydomonas are unicellular, and Paramecium are also unicellular organisms. Let us see the examples of multicellular but obvious. Plants multicellular, animals multicellular, fungi, etc. all are multicellular organisms. Next. In unicellular, a single cell performs all functions. Quite clear. Single cell performs all the functions. The એક જ સેલ છે, એકથી વધારે સેલ જ નથી, તો એ જ સેલે જ બધું કામ કરવું પડશે. And when we see multicellular, there are different types of cells to perform different functions. Now this is very much important to understand, my dear friends. See, a few things are not given in textbook. અમુક વસ્તુ ટેક્સ્ટબુકમાં આપેલી નથી, બટ આપણે જાણવી ખૂબ જ જરૂરી છે from knowledge point of view or from the purpose of knowledge. See, જો કોઈ ઓર્ગેનિઝમ પાસે એક જ સેલ છે, if there is only one cell, then that single cell will do many functions. So level of those functions will be small. For example, if we say that suppose if amoeba wants to move, amoeba is unicellular organism, and if we human beings want to move, both of us want to move. Amoeba is unicellular, we are multicellular. Now amoeba is unicellular, so that particular cell, amoeba, for moving it is the only cell present. For respiration also it is the only cell present. For digestion also it is the only cell present. But for us, we move with legs. આપણે ચાલીએ છીએ પગથી, બરાબર ને? તો પગની જરૂર ચાલવામાં પડશે, બરાબર ને? પણ પછી વિચારવું હોય તો પગથી વિચારીએ છીએ? ના, વિચારવાનું મગજથી છે, જમવાનું મોઢાથી છે, બરાબર ને? લખવાનું હાથથી છે. અલગ અલગ કામ કરવા માટે અલગ અલગ ઓર્ગન્સ ઓર અલગ અલગ ટાઈપના સેલ્સ આપણી પાસે છે, અમીબા પાસે નથી, બરાબર ને? તો આપણી પાસે એક સ્પેસિફિક કામ કરવા માટે અલગ ટાઈપના ઓર્ગન્સ છે, ઓર ઓર્ગન સિસ્ટમ છે, સોરી, રાઈટ, નોટ ઓર્ગનલ્સ, ઓર્ગન્સ છે આપણી પાસે, ફાઇન. સો આપણે એ કામ વધારે સારી રીતના કરી શકશું. જે પ્રમાણે આપણે ચાલી શકીએ છીએ, જે સ્પીડથી આપણે દોડી શકીએ છીએ, જે પ્રમાણે આપણે આપણા પગનો ઉપયોગ કરી શકીએ છીએ, એ પ્રમાણે અમીબા આપણી સ્પીડથી ચાલી શકવાનું નથી, કે આપણી સ્પીડથી દોડી શકવાનું નથી. આપણે ચાલવું હોય તો 10 અલગ અલગ રીતના ચાલી શકીએ છીએ. એક પગથી ચાલી શકીએ છીએ, નાટક કરતા કરતા ચાલી શકીએ છીએ, પગ આડો કરીને ચાલી શકીએ છીએ, સીધા ચાલી શકીએ છીએ, આડા આવડા ચાલી શકીએ છીએ. there are many varieties and options available. why? ચાલવા માટે અલગ ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ છે પૂરો. તો એ ઘણી બધી વેરાયટી, ઘણા બધા ફંક્શન્સ ઇમ્પ્રુવ લેવલ ઉપર લઈને આવશે. બટ અમીબા એ તો બિચારો એક જ સેલ છે, જેને ચાલવાનું છે, એને જ ખાવાનું છે, એને જ પચાવવાનું છે, એને જ બધું કરવાનું છે. તો એ વધારે વેરાયટી ઓફ ફંક્શન્સ કરી શકશે નહીં. વેરાયટી હશે પણ એ વેરાયટીનું લેવલ બહુ ઊંચું હશે નહીં. આઈ હોપ ધીસ ઇઝ ક્લિયર ટુ યુ, રાઈટ? So why multicellular organisms are developed? In order to perform better functions. In order to perform better functions. સમજો, આ બી સમજવા જેવું છે. We are multicellular. Plants are also multicellular. આપણે મલ્ટીસેલ્યુલર ઓર્ગેનિઝમ્સ છીએ, પ્લાન્ટ બી મલ્ટીસેલ્યુલર ઓર્ગેનિઝમ્સ છીએ, બરાબર ને? બટ જેટલા ઓર્ગન સિસ્ટમ્સ આપણી અંદર ડેવલપ થયેલા છે એટલા પ્લાન્ટ્સ ની અંદર ડેવલપ નથી થયેલા. તો જે લેવલ સુધી આપણે ફંક્શન કરી શકીએ છીએ એ લેવલ સુધી પ્લાન્ટ્સ ફંક્શન કરી શકતા નથી. ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ, હું હમણાં તમને કહું કે ભાઈ તમારી બાજુમાં કોઈ બી બેઠું હોય, તમારો ફ્રેન્ડ છે ઓર નાનો ભાઈ બહેન છે, એને ફેરવીને સટાક કરતો એટલે લાફો ચડાવી દો, તો તમે ચડાવી શકશો, તમે મારી શકશો. યુ આર એબલ ટુ ડુ ધેટ ફંક્શન. સેમ વસ્તુ બાગ બગીચામાં જઈને ટ્રીની સામે ઊભા રહી જવાના, એને કહો ભાઈ બાજુવાળા ટ્રીને ફેરવીને એક લાફો મારી દે. નોટ પોસિબલ. ઇટ ઇઝ નોટ એબલ ટુ પરફોર્મ ધેટ ફંક્શન. હવે સવાલ ઊભો થાય છે, એ બી મલ્ટી સેલ્યુલર છે, આપણે બી મલ્ટી સેલ્યુલર છે, બટ જેટલું ડેવલપમેન્ટ આપણું છે એટલું તેનું નથી, રાઈટ? સો ઇટ ઇઝ નોટ એબલ ટુ ડુ ધ ફંક્શન્સ એટ અ લેવલ વિચ વી આર એબલ ટુ ડુ. તો જ્યારે બે મલ્ટી સેલ્યુલર ઓર્ગેનિઝમ્સમાં આટલો ડિફરન્સ છે, તો એક યુનિસેલ્યુલર અને એક મલ્ટી સેલ્યુલરમાં તો ઘણો બધો ડિફરન્સ હોવાનો છે ને, રાઈટ? જે વેરાયટી ઓફ ફંક્શન્સ પ્લાન્ટ્સ અને એનિમલ્સ કરીને બતાવવાના છે, એ વેરાયટી ઓફ ફંક્શન્સ અમીબા, ક્લેમાઇડોમોનાસ, પેરામેશિયમ કરીને બતાવવાના નથી. બીકોઝ હિયર અ સિંગલ સેલ હેઝ ટુ પરફોર્મ ઓલ ધ ડ્યુટીઝ, એન્ડ હિયર ટુ પરફોર્મ ઓલ ધ ડ્યુટીઝ there are different types of cells. So definitely there will be a change in the level of functions or level of duties they are performing. I hope this is clear to you. Now let us see how they actually look, how a unicellular or multicellular organism looks like. So there are a few images. See, this is amoeba. This is amoeba. This is a single cell. There are many atoms or molecules inside it, right? These are some chemicals over there, some bubbles are over there, right? But this entire structure is known as amoeba. Now this is the single cell. આને જ બધું કરવાનું છે. ચાલવું હોય તો આ જ ચાલશે, જમવું હોય તો આ જ જમશે, દોડવું હોય તો આ જ દોડશે. હવે આની અંદર બીજું કઈ નથી અલગ ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ કે ભાઈ અહીંયાથી જમવાનું, બરાબર છે, આ પગ છે તો આનાથી દોડવાનું, અહીંયા મગજ છે, એવું તમે ક્યાંય કહી શકતા નથી. આ એક જ સેલ છે, એમાં કોઈ ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ નથી બીજું. Another example is of Chlamydomonas. See, again there is a single cell which has to do each and everything. આને જ રેસ્પિરેશન કરવાનું છે, આને જ ડાયજેશન કરવાનું છે, બધું આને જ કરવાનું છે. But when I compare it with multicellular organisms, you can see this is single cell, now many cells, and this many cells have formed a tissue. તમે જોઈ શકો છો અહીંયા જો. If you then zoom in and look over here, many cells form a bundle over here. You can see one, second, third, fourth, many cells. Then this is a particular tissue. Then these are many tissues, and these many tissues form an organ, right? See, these are our muscles actually, right? A muscle no diagram che, these are muscles. I hope this is clear to you. So this is muscular tissue, but these muscular tissues are made up of many group of cells. So this is a particular system, right? Muscular system. Now you can see in this image there are many bones also, there is blood also, right? So there are different types of systems which will perform different types of functions. જમવું હોય તો ભાઈ મોઢાથી જમવાનું, તાઈ ઝાલવું હોય તાઈ પકડવું હોય. If you want to hold something, you will use hand, you will use your limbs. If you want to see, you will use your eyes. But here we do not have eyes, here we do not have mouth, here we do not have blood. Why? Single cell. It is not able to do that variety of functions. It is performing basic functions, but a single cell is performing all the functions, and here to perform the functions there are variety of cells. I hope that is now quite clear to you after seeing this much of images and hearing this much of explanation, right? So before we move ahead, I forgot to tell you, but please pause the video and write this down in your CW, right? What you will write is difference between unicellular and multicellular organisms, right? Your question should be difference between unicellular and multicellular organisms, and then you have to write these 3 points on both the sides. So please pause the video and write this down in your CW. Alright, I hope you have written this. Let us move ahead in the chapter. Yes, so this is written in the textbook. Some organisms can also have cells of different kinds. Look at the following picture. It depicts some cells from our human body. Now see, our human body is multicellular. There are more than one cells, but that cells or those cells also have variety. See, these are smooth muscle cells. These are blood cells, RBC, WBC, etc. These are nerve cells. They form our nervous system. Ovum, bone cell, fat cell, many types of cells. Right? Body is single. In that single body, there are varieties of cells. બરાબર ને ઘણા બધા સેલ હોઈ શકે છે. By for example, this is single cell, this is unicellular. Now there are many cells. So suppose this is multicellular. But in multicellular also, this is possible that there are many cells. Right? Suppose there are many cells, but they can have variety. Right? For example, few cells are like this, few cells are like this, few cells are like this. There are variety of cells. Some of them are like this long, right? Varieties of cells available. So these are unicellular, these are multicellular, these are also multicellular, but these are multicellular having single type of cells. Multicellular organisms with single type of cells, but we human beings are multicellular organisms with various types of cells, many types of cells. Our brain, our nervous system has nerve cells, right? Blood has more different types of cells. You have heard red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets. Now white blood cells also have many varieties. Right? But white blood cells also have many varieties. Acidophils, basophils, neutrophils, and they have different name also. Right? For example, the red blood cells have a different name also, erythrocytes. White blood cells have a different name, leukocytes. Platelets have a different name, thrombocytes. Right? So there are varieties of cells available in our human body. This is just for information. There is no need to write this. Moving ahead, we will read some more information that is given in our textbook. Let us read. Each living cell has the capacity to perform certain basic functions that are characteristics of all living forms, right? Each living cell has capacity to perform certain basic functions. Each living cell, no matter a living cell ગમે તેનો હોય, but it will perform some basic function. For example, all the living cells are able to respire. બધા living cells respire કરે છે, that is basic function, right? But question is, how does a living cell perform these basic functions? How can a cell respire? How can a cell perform all these basic functions? Let us see the answer to this. There is division of labor. Division of labor એટલે કામનો બટવારો છે. Right? Division means બટવારો of labor. Labor means work in multicellular organisms such as human beings. What does it mean? This means that different parts of human body perform different functions. Just now આપણી વાત થઈ હતી, right? Answer is there is division of labor. Multicellular organisms માં શું દેખાય છે આપણને? Division of labor, કામનો બટવારો દેખાય છે. What do you mean by division of labor? Different parts of human body perform different functions. Let us see the examples. The human body has heart to pump blood. બરાબર ને? બધી જગ્યાએ blood pump કરવા માટે આપણી પાસે અલગથી separate organ છે, heart. We very well know that. See, this is heart. It will pump blood to different parts of body. It can pump blood to hands, it can pump blood to neck, it will pump blood to all the parts of body, right? We very well know that. So in order to pump blood, there is a separate system for us. So by division of labor થયું ને, right? Then there is stomach to digest food. બરાબર ને? ભાઈ આ stomach છે, it will digest food. હવે stomach ની સાથે સાથે ઘણા બધા લોકો છે, small intestine છે, large intestine છે, બરાબર ને? liver છે. They all form digestive system. So digestive system is a separate part. All of them will come together and they will perform just one common function, that is digestion of food. That's it. તો આને આપણે શું કહીએ? Division of labor. What is it? Division of labor. Right. હવે આને સમજો. Once upon a time we were single cells. We were single cells. Then this single cell got divided and two cells were produced. Then these two cells further divided, right? And from 2, 4 cells were produced. These 4 further divided, and how many produced? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this continued. From this 8 again many, again many, right? Many cells were produced. Million of cells are produced. Now, when this million and billions of cells are produced, right? They all were same. They all were same, and this process was known as cell division. This process is known as cell division. At a particular stage during the development of a child, a stage comes when these cells will decide આ સમજવા માટે છે એકચ્યુઅલી આનાથી અલગ પ્રોસેસ થાય છે બટ આ સેલનું ડિવિઝન થતા થતા ઘણા બધા સેલ્સ પ્રોડ્યુસ થશે અને એ જ સ્ટેજ આવશે જ્યારે આ બધા સેલની મીટિંગ થશે સભા ભરાશે આ બધા સેલ બરાબર ને અને નતીશભાઈ હવે આપણે આટલા બધા લોકો થઈ ગયા અને બધા લોકો મળી અને એક જ ટાઈપનું કામ કરશું તો હ્યુમનનું બર્થ બરાબર થશે નહીં that human will not be able to do variety of functions તો આ બધા સેલ મળી અને નથી કરશે ભાઈ ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ આ બે સેલ છે ને એ નથી કરી લે કે ભાઈ આજથી છે ને આપણું કામ છે that we will become heart and we will pump blood to all the parts of body તો આ બે સેલ ભેગા થઈને પછી સ્પેસિફિક હાર્ટ ને ફંક્શન કરવા માટે જે ટાઈપની જરૂર છે એ ટાઈપના કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક્સ અપનાવશે બીજા બે સેલ ભેગા થઈ જાય અને એ ભેગા થઈને નથી કરી લે તો ભાઈ we will make sensory organs we will make sensory organs for example we will make eyes we will make ears we will make tongue etc 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 we will make sensory organs તો એક ટાઈપના સેલ ભેગા થઈને કહે ભાઈ we will become skin અમે ભાઈ સેન્સરી ઓર્ગન્સમાં સ્પેસિફિકલી સ્કિન સેલ્સ બનાવશું રાઈટ વળી પાછા બીજા કોઈ બે સેલ ભેગા થઈને આવીને કહેશે કે ભાઈ અમે તો ડાયજેસ્ટિવ સિસ્ટમ બનાવશું વિલ ફોર્મ અ ડાયજેસ્ટિવ સિસ્ટમ આજે મસ્ત મજાનું બધું ટેસ્ટી બધા લોકો ખાશે પાણીપુરી ઝાપટી જશે આઈસ્ક્રીમ બાવાની જેમ જ્યાં દેખાય ત્યાં ચોટી પડે છે એ બધું ખાઈ જશે તો એને પચાવવાનું કામ અમારું રાઈટ સો દેટ ઇઝ ડાયજેસ્ટિવ સિસ્ટમ અને આ બધાના પપ્પા એ કે તું ભાઈ બ્લડ પંપ કરીશ તું સેન્સીસ કરીશ તું ડાયજેસ્ટિવ સિસ્ટમ કંટ્રોલ કરીશ તમારામાંથી કોઈને કંઈ પ્રોબ્લેમ આવશે તમને બધાને સાચવશે કોણ તો ભાઈ અમુક સેલ્સ ભેગા થઈ અને નક્કી કરી લે છે that we will form nervous system or we will form brain right શું બનાવશું આપણે મગજ બનાવશું બ્રેન બનાવશું in order to control all these systems તો આ જે પ્રોસેસ થઈ ને કે અલગ અલગ સેલના ગ્રુપ પડી ગયા અને પછી સેલ પોતાની રીતના આગળ એ ફંક્શન કરવા માટે ડેવલપ થાય છે that process is known as cell differentiation that process is known as cell differentiation friends mind well these things are not given in textbook આ just extra information છે so that તમે ચેપ્ટર ને બેટર રીતના સમજી શકો and as usual our aim is not to gain marks but to gain knowledge right so બે ફેઝ છે actually સેલ ડિવિઝન થી બધા એક જ ટાઈપના સેલ બને છે અને પછી આ બધા સેલનું મેચ્યોરેશન થાય છે and that process is known as cell differentiation where different cells take different functions તો આપણા બોડીની અંદર બી આવું થયું હતું એક સમયે બધા લોકોએ મળી નથી ભાઈ આજથી હું હાર્ટ બનાવીશ અમે સ્કિન બનશું અમે સેન્સરી ઓર્ગન્સ બનશું અમે ડાયજેસ્ટિવ સિસ્ટમ બનશું અમે નર્વસ સિસ્ટમ બનશું અમે બોન્સ બનશું અમે બ્લડ બનશું આ બધું એ સમયે મીટિંગમાં નથી થયું હતું તો અલ્ટિમેટલી આજે થયું આ કામનો બટવારો થયો ને વોટ ઇઝ ધીસ ઇઝ ડિવિઝન ઓફ લેબર વોટ ઇઝ ધીસ ઇઝ ડિવિઝન ઓફ લેબર કામનો બટવારો થયો ભાઈ આજથી બ્લડ પંપ કરવું હશે તો એ હાર્ટ જ કરશે હવે ત્યારે એ હાર્ટ સિવાય બીજો કોઈ ઓર્ગન બ્લડ પંપ નહીં કરે ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ સ્ટમક એમ નહીં છે લાવો આવી જાય હાર્ટ ને મજા નથી તો હું બ્લડ પંપ કરી દઉં એવું ન ચાલે જોવાનું કામ આંખ જ કરશે એમાં નવીન નવાઈ હોય ના ના ભાઈ આજે આંખને મજા નથી તો પગથી જોઈ લો પગને જોવું હોય ટાટિયો ઊંચો કરવો પડે નો મેળ આવે ને એવું ન ચાલે બરાબર ને કોઈ એમ કે ભાઈ આજે મગજ બીમાર છે તો મગજ બદલી છે ને આપણે શું કહેવાય પેટ કામ કરશે તો એવું ન ચાલે division of labor means once a function is assigned by heart will pump blood so it will pump blood only eyes will see so eyes will perform the function of seeing only ear so it will perform the function of hearing only stomach it will perform the function of digestion only this is known as division of labor એમાં કોઈ રોલ ઇન્ટરચેન્જ થશે નહીં રાઈટ આઈ હોપ હવે આ વર્ડનો મીનિંગ ક્લિયર છે અમુકની ઉંમર નીકળી જાય છે બટ આનો મીનિંગ ખબર નથી પડતી તો આપણે શું ભણી ગયા હતા right ha masti nat karto so frankly speaking you should learn this in a very well manner or very good manner right so I hope this is clear multicellular organisms ni varta clear છે how they perform these basic functions due to one thing division of labor is also seen within a single cell હવે આ થોડું ખોટો સ્ટેટમેન્ટ લાગે લોકોને પહેલી વાર કે સર સિંગલ સેલ હોય એમાં તો એક જ સેલ છે તો આ એક જ સેલને બધા ફંક્શન કરવાના છે ઓલામાં તો ઠીક છે ચલો ઘણી બધી ટાઈપના સેલ હતા ભાઈ આ ભાઈ અલગ કામ કરતા હતા, this was doing something else, this was doing something else, એની વાર્તા અલગ હતી. બટ અહીંયા તો સિંગલ સેલ છે. સિંગલ સેલમાં ડિવિઝન ઓફ લેબર કેવી રીતે? કારણ કે અહીંયા તો એક જ સેલ ને બધી કરવાની છે, એને જ ખાવાનું છે, એને જ જમવાનું છે, એને જ પચાવવાનું છે, એને જ વિચારવાનું છે, બધું એને જ કરવાનું છે. તો પછી ડિવિઝન ઓફ લેબર કેવી રીતે? માય ડિયર ફ્રેન્ડ્સ, ધીસ સિંગલ સેલ, આ સિંગલ સેલ છે પણ એની અંદર બી તો ઘણી બધી વસ્તુઓ છે ને. અને એની અંદર જે ઘણી બધી વસ્તુઓ છે જેના નામ તમને ખ્યાલ છે, ન્યુક્લિયસ, માઇટોકોન્ડ્રિયા, સાઇટોપ્લાઝમ, રાઇબોસોમ્સ, ગોલ્ગી બોડીઝ, એન્ડોપ્લાસ્મિક રેટિક્યુલમ, એ બધા ડિવિઝન ઓફ લેબર બતાવશે. So one thing is clear, division of labor is seen in multicellular organisms also, division of labor is seen in unicellular organisms also, but difference is in multicellular organisms division of labor is shown by different types of cells. In unicellular organism the division of labor is shown by different organelles of a single cell, different organelles of single cell. I hope this is clear. Let us read further. In fact, each such cell has got certain specific components which we know as cell organelles. Very clear. So single cell तो एक જ type ના function કરી શકશે, but it will perform many types of function, but any અંદર જે cell organelles છે they will perform different types of functions, and hence these cell organelles are responsible for division of labor. Right? I hope this is clear to you. Each kind of cell organelles performs a special functions, such as making new material in the cell. બરાબર, making new material means making new proteins is performed by ribosomes. આ કોનું કામ છે? રાઇબોસોમ્સ નું કામ છે. Ribosomes. Clearing up the waste material from the cell, આ કોનું કામ છે? Lysosomes નું કામ છે. To clear up the waste material from the cells. We very well know that lysosomes are known as suicide beds of the cell. આવું તમે સાંભળેલું હશે. Mitochondria is known as powerhouse of the cell. Chloroplasts are known as kitchen of the cell. બધું સાંભળેલું છે. તો લાઇઝોસોમ નું કામ શું છે? To clear the waste material. રાઇબોસોમ્સ નું કામ શું છે? To make new material. તો એ બી અલગ અલગ કામ થયા ને. જે કામ લાઇઝોસોમ કરશે એ રાઇબોસોમ નહીં કરે. જે વસ્તુ રાઇબોસોમની સ્પેશિયાલિટી છે એ લાઇઝોસોમ નહીં કરે, તો that is ultimately what? That is ultimately division of labor. Each organelle is performing a specific type of function. I hope this is clear to you. Right? Right? I hope this is very much clear to you. So this is ultimately the structure of our animal cell, and we can see there are many different types of organelles. So cell is single, there is only one cell, but this one cell, in it there are many different types of organelles: mitochondria, cytoplasm, Golgi apparatus, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum. They will perform different types of functions. Each and every one of them is having specific. For example, mitochondria, it is powerhouse of cell. What is its worth? Its worth is to generate energy. Golgi apparatus, it will package the proteins. Right? Endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, they will produce the proteins. Right? So they are having specific functions, and what these specific functions are called, there are division of labor among them. Sure. A cell is able to live and perform all its functions because of these organelles. These organelles together constitute the basic unit called cell. Yes. So many organelles together come and they form cells. It is interesting that all cells are found to have the same organelles no matter what their function is or what organisms they are found in. Very good line. મને લઈ લ્યો, તમે છો, આપણા સિવાયના બીજા કોઈ લિવિંગ ઓર્ગેનિઝમ્સને લઈ જાઓ, એની અંદર અલગ અલગ ટાઈપના સેલ હશે, બટ ઓલ ધ સેલ્સ અલ્ટિમેટલી હેવ ધ સેમ ઓર્ગેનલ્સ. સેમ ઓર્ગેનલ મતલબ જેવો માઇટોકોન્ડ્રિયા મારી અંદર છે એવો જ તમારી અંદર હશે ને એવો જ બીજા કોઈ લિવિંગ ઓર્ગેનિઝમની અંદર હશે. જેવો રાઇબોસોમ મારી અંદર છે એવો જ તમારી અંદર છે. બરાબર ને? ઓલ ધ સેલ્સ આર ફાઉન્ડ ટુ હેવ સેમ ઓર્ગેનલ્સ નો મેટર વોટ ધેર ફંક્શન ઇઝ. બરાબર ને? હવે માઇટોકોન્ડ્રિયા સપોઝ આપણા સ્કિનના સેલમાં બી છે અને સપોઝ આપણા સ્ટમકના સેલમાં બી છે. તો જે ટાઈપનો માઇટોકોન્ડ્રિયા સ્કિનના સેલમાં હોય એ જ ટાઈપનો માઇટોકોન્ડ્રિયા સ્ટમકના સેલમાં બી હશે. ભલે સ્કિનનું ફંક્શન અલગ છે, સ્ટમકનું ફંક્શન અલગ છે, નો મેટર વોટ ધેર ફંક્શન ઇઝ. બરાબર ને? ભલે તે અલગ અલગ ઓર્ગેનિઝમ્સમાં હોય, અલગ અલગ ફંક્શન હોય, બટ દે વિલ હેવ સેમ ઓર્ગેનલ્સ. I hope that is clear. તો હવે તમને પેલી ઇમેજ યાદ આવી જોઈએ. By there are many atoms, many atoms make molecules, molecules make organelles. યાદ છે ને? રાઈટ. ઓર્ગેનલ્સ માંથી શું બનશે? સેલ. ઘણા બધા સેલ ભેગા થઈને ટીશ્યુ બનાવશે. many tissues will form organs. Many organs will form organ system, and many organ systems will form an organism. So this is how a living cell performs the basic functions, right? So I request you to please pause the video and you have to write this much, right? First listen, you have to start from here, right? And you have to end up over here, right? You have to write how does a living cell perform basic functions, right? Omit this word this. How does a living cell perform basic functions? And then you have to write this much in your CW. This is just for information, but you have to write this so that we are clear. Please pause the video and write this much down from here to here in your CW. Alright, I hope you have written this. Let us move ahead. What is cell made up of? What is the structural organization of cell? Now it is very clear that an organism is made up of organ systems. Organ systems are made up of organs. Organs are made up of tissues. Tissues are made up of cells. And we have also seen that cells are made up of what? They are made up of organelles. Many organelles. Cells are made up of many organelles, right? We have also seen that no matter what an organism is or how many different types of organs we have, each and every cell will have same type of organelles, right? But when we study a cell under microscope, we come across the three features in almost every cell. બરાબર ને? બની શકે કે ભાઈ અમુક સેલની અંદર માઇટોકોન્ડ્રિયા હશે, અમુક સેલની અંદર માઇટોકોન્ડ્રિયા નહીં હોય, રાઈટ? ધીટ ઇઝ પોસિબલ. અમુક સેલની અંદર ન્યુક્લિયસ હશે, અમુકની અંદર નહીં હોય, રાઈટ? એવું પોસિબલ છે, રાઈટ? ન્યુક્લિયસ તો બધા સેલમાં હોવો જોઈએ, બટ માઇટોકોન્ડ્રિયા અમુક સેલની અંદર છે, અમુક સેલની અંદર નથી. એવું તો શું છે જે બધા સેલમાં હોય જ છે? એવી આ ત્રણ વસ્તુ છે: પ્લાઝ્મા મેમ્બ્રેન, ન્યુક્લિયસ, સાઇટોપ્લાઝમ. These three are common characteristics. They are common in each and every cell. मतलब તમે આપણી બોડીની અંદરથી ગમે તે સેલ ઉપાડીને અંદર લઈ આવો તો એની અંદર પ્લાઝ્મા મેમ્બ્રેન ડેફિનેટલી હશે, ન્યુક્લિયસ ડેફિનેટલી હશે, સાઇટોપ્લાઝમ ડેફિનેટલી હશે. આના વિના સેલનું બનવું પોસિબલ નથી. પછી માઇટોકોન્ડ્રિયા અમુકમાં હશે, અમુકમાં નહીં હોય. સેલ વોલ અમુકમાં હશે, અમુકમાં નહીં હોય. I hope this is clear to you. Fine. વેક્યુલ અમુકમાં હશે, અમુકમાં નહીં હોય. ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ વેક્યુલ્સ અમુક ટાઈપના ઓર્ગેનિઝમ્સમાં હોય છે, અમુક ટાઈપના ઓર્ગેનિઝમ્સમાં નથી હોતા. બટ પ્લાઝ્મા મેમ્બ્રેન એ તો બધી ટાઈપના ઓર્ગેનિઝમના સેલમાં હશે જ. ન્યુક્લિયસ બધામાં હશે જ, સાઇટોપ્લાઝમ બધામાં હશે જ. તો આઉટ ઓફ many organelles, we will first focus on these three: plasma membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm, right? All activities inside the cell and interactions of the cell with its environment are possible due to these features. Yes, all activities inside the cell. cell ની અંદર જે કાંઈ બી કામકાજ થાય છે એ, અને બીજા સેલની સાથેનું જે ઇન્ટરેક્શન છે, સેલની આજુબાજુનું જે એન્વાયરમેન્ટ છે, it is possible due to these features. બધું કોના લીધે પોસિબલ છે? ડ્યુ ટુ પ્લાઝ્મા મેમ્બ્રેન, ન્યુક્લિયસ એન્ડ સાઇટોપ્લાઝમ. સો ધીસ થ્રી આર વેરી મચ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ organelles or very much important parts of the cell, right? So we end up our video lecture over here, and we will meet again in the next video lecture, and we will start studying one by one the organelles of the cell. And we will first of all discuss about plasma membrane, then nucleus, and then cytoplasm, because these three are very much important, right? Because they are responsible for all the activities inside the cell and they control the interactions. So we will first learn about plasma membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm, because they are found in almost every cell. Fine, so I hope you enjoyed this. You have written everything in your CW. Now I request you, whenever you watch the next video lecture, just before that, revise this video lecture. It is easily available on YouTube. You can just visit, you can find the video and re-watch it again, right? So before watching next video lecture, I request you to watch this video lecture again, so you get a quick revision, or at least read from your CW whatever you have written, and then we shall move ahead. Fine, so thank you very much for listening. We will again meet in the next video lecture. Take very good care of yourselves. Goodbye.